The Senior Center Inclusion Project is a collaborative effort between the New Mexico Developmental Disabilities Planning Council and the New Mexico Aging and Long-Term Services Department. We would like to share the success of this project with other senior centers throughout New Mexico, as well as other developmental disabilities councils across the nation. We will also talk a little about how senior centers successfully resolved a few barriers that were encountered when an inclusion program was first introduced. The Senior Center Inclusion Project was established to encourage senior centers to reach out to members of local communities through families, developmental disability service providers, faith communities, and other informal and formal connections to encourage seniors with developmental disabilities to come to senior centers to participate in daily activities with seniors without developmental disabilities.
A lot of the folks that are older with developmental disabilities are also isolated at home. And so what this project has really allowed us to do is to combine our resources, do a collaborative effort to provide an opportunity to the people that both of us serve to be more included, to be part of the community, to not be isolated. I mean, how difficult is it as an aging person to be isolated from all your people? Your family members have gone away, and this project has provided an opportunity for both of our populations to come together and belong someplace and be part of a community, which I think is absolutely essential.
And be able to socialize and get services that anyone would need: a meal, socialization, some recreation, some support services for as they're facing aging issues and disability issues, and allows them both to come together and capitalize on those joint resources.
This video will give you an idea how several senior centers programs were created or improved upon to include seniors with developmental disabilities. To demonstrate how senior centers implemented successful inclusion projects, the Chavez County Joy Centers in Roswell established a Developmental Disabilities Aging Inclusion Coalition.
The DD Aging Coalition was put together back in about July of 2002. We were contacted by Michelle Lujan Gresham, who was then the secretary of the Aging and Long-Term Services Department, and she came up to me when we were in Las Vegas and said, "Charlie, if I had some money to give away, would you take it?" And I said, "Sure." So that's how the whole thing started. In the coalition, in the DD Aging Coalition, we started out with a few members, and we just kind of grown over the past couple of years. Currently we have about 15 members, and we have members from the Roswell Adult Center. We have members representative of the personal care option, the DD waiver, the D&E waiver, guardianship, and of course the senior centers.
The result of these efforts include not only increased interaction among seniors with and without developmental disabilities, but also an increased awareness by participants about the various services and opportunities available to all seniors in their community. As
part of our DD Aging Inclusion Project, we took our adult daycare program and integrated some folks from the Tobosa Developmental Center who are developmentally disabled individuals, and every Monday and Wednesday we have an arts and crafts class that they all work together on, and it is just it absolutely would just blow you away to watch them and see the interactions and to see the affinities that are built between the individuals involved.
Another community that has a successful senior center inclusion project is in the village of Carrizozo. Ms. Ada Hendricks, the director at the Lincoln County Zia Center, has established a pilot project of art classes, including seniors with and without developmental disabilities.
The inclusion program has enlivened our program by allowing the general population of seniors that come to the center daily to be able to relate better to the DD population in our town and to become more compassionate and understanding about some of their limitations. And so it's really been a wonderful project for us. We're happy to have been a part of it.
Well, they have helped me to realize what it's like to get among other people and the handicap, because I guess I never was really involved too much with them. And now that I help with them, I seem to love them. They're so lovable, which I would have never thought. They're very lovable.
In Taos, Ms. Diana Rivera is the director at Ancianos Senior Center. She has stated that she was very fortunate that her center was very accepting of the Inclusion Project. At the beginning of the project, Ms. Rivera held a meeting with the seniors already participating in the Senior Center and informed them about the Inclusion Project. She explained that they were going to bring into the center older individuals with developmental disabilities, and some of these individuals might need more assistance than others. Many seniors volunteered to become mentors or to assist their peers with developmental disabilities. For example, if a person needed some help to play bingo, someone would assist them. Over time, some individuals with developmental disabilities became more independent.
I had an opportunity to visit a center that had an inclusion of seniors with developmental disabilities in their program. And it was interesting to see the friendships that were being developed across the different populations, people who may have had strokes or diabetes or other kinds of ailments, who had the opportunity to sit down and talk and interact and develop friendships with people with developmental disabilities. One of the things that occurred when we visited the Senior Center was one of the individuals who I had known for a number of years that had developmental disabilities was participating in the program. They were doing some painting at the table, and when I came in the room, this individual jumped up from the table and ran over and gave me a hug, and so I kind of left the building with a finger paint across my back. But you know, that's a small price to pay for having the opportunity to allow people to feel like they belong and that they're part of something.
Another purpose of this video is to explain to senior centers the potential barriers that may exist and how to overcome them. An initial barrier experienced at this center was that a few of the individuals with developmental disabilities were overwhelmed at first by all the interactions and activity at the center. They were frightened and they returned home. The staff at Ancianos reached out to them at home and started to deliver Meals on Wheels. This allowed these individuals and their families to get to know the staff members slowly. After some time, these individuals would come into the center to participate in activities. Little by little, individuals and their families are becoming more comfortable being at the center and participating with other seniors.
And I think that before the project, a number of people in the programs, whether they were seniors or staff, were a little fearful about what this involved, and it was a little scary, a new population they weren't familiar with. How was that going to be? How was it going to be received? And all these projects are continuing far beyond us just getting them started, because relationships have developed and friendships have developed, and they've had fun together, and it's not been a burden to add another population. It's enhanced the programs.
Another potential barrier is that family members may at first be reluctant to allow the individual to participate in the programs at the centers. Families that have historically protected and isolated their family members with developmental disabilities may not be comfortable at first with bringing their family members to a senior center.
I think the project has really improved the lives of seniors and others who've been involved. Friendships have developed, and we're treating families. We're providing services for families that's much more important than just treating individuals. I mean, the seniors live in the context of families, and so do persons with developmental disabilities. Allows them to do things together and develop community relationships and social friendships.
Some parents and other family members of older persons with developmental disabilities are becoming elderly themselves. When they pass away, they leave spouses or others to take care of their older relative with a developmental disability. They don't know where to begin because they were not the primary caregivers. Education is needed to inform both the remaining parent or other family member and the individual with the disability that programs are available in the community, including options for supported and independent living and other opportunities for adults with developmental disabilities to become more involved in their local community and to become more independent. The New Mexico Developmental Disabilities Planning Council and the Aging and Long-Term Services Department are pleased to share this project with viewers.
I'm proud of the Inclusion Project because it has expanded our horizons and made us think outside of the box of the usual way that we provide services in communities to an aging population.
I think the best way for communities to get involved in this project is they can either contact Aging and Long-Term Services Department or the Developmental Disabilities Planning Council, and we can put them in contact with partners who can work with them in their own local communities, and also put them in contact with other centers who have been successful in this project.
The Inclusion Project is not statewide at this point. We would like it to be statewide and more centers to adopt a program and work towards including more adults with disabilities, with developmental disabilities into their programs. We're hoping that with this video and providing workshops at our various conferences that other centers see that it's not a whole different type of service to provide, and it's beneficial to the center and to the people that they're serving.
For more information, call today. The New Mexico Aging and Long-Term Services Department can be reached at 1-866-451-2901, toll-free in New Mexico only. Or call the Information Center for New Mexicans with Disabilities /BabyNet, that's DDPC, at 1-800-552-8195, toll-free in New Mexico only, or by email at infonet@unm.edu. Help to build friendships that are so vital to all of our lives.